I have a really cool story about reincarnation, but I want to talk to you about that, the purpose and why you specifically are here at this moment in time. You are supposed to be here. I want to tell you what your mission is, because you don't want to come back here, right? Well, maybe you do. We'll come back in a golden era, but not if you don't do this one thing. You want to find out what it is? It's pretty simple, and I know you're up for it. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. I thought I'd put some earrings on for you, add a little color, and just talk about some really controversial subjects, and that is reincarnation. Do you believe that you come back? Well, this video isn't actually about reincarnation, but I want to explain something to you because it really does fit into the full picture of why you're here exactly at this moment. I saw a video, and I'm sure you've seen these before. There's studies of, thousands of kids who recall being somebody else. Little people that have names and all kinds of information they couldn't possibly be making up. And one person told a story about how her son started to talk to her like her brother who had died 5 years before the son was even born, calling her a nickname that only he knew, details about how he had died, and the child had never even known that story, much less that she even had a brother. And so the whole family was convinced, after a series of unbelievable events and information this child gave, that it was the brother who came back as the sister of the dead brother's son. A little creepy, scary? I don't know. I don't think so. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just transforms. Why do we have such a tough time with that? Of course, everything goes into something else, and everything relies on something else. You wouldn't be here without the sun and the plants and everything. So it all works together. No one thing stands alone, including every molecule in your body. Now, here's what happened, is the brother got into a horrible accident, and the car tumbled and caught on fire. It was a very unpleasant death. He had been drinking. He was a pretty violent teen, and had anger issues, and very irresponsible when it came to that, right? The reincarnation of him, the young boy, understood that he was not going to make those same mistakes. In fact, he made sure that he was going to be working through the things that he had dealt with in his last life, including the anger issues, where they sent him into a psychologist who helped him work through it. Because you will carry everything with you into the next life. So it's not like he came back and the anger issues were gone. He still had not resolved that. So he'll carry it forward so that he can master and work it through, which he did. He also is a very responsible driver. He's in his teens now, and he said that he has no intention of doing anything irresponsible at all that could risk his life or others. He is making it okay now. He's mastering the things that in his last life caused great harm and sadness to himself and others. This is how it works. So the planet is no different. I want you to understand something. We as an entire humanity are going back through the same things that we didn't master last time. And through transformation, as more people coming on board and more generations, and some leave, we don't die. We just transform. Some people will come back here for their own personal journeys, and of course as a collective. Because when we master this, we can master that. If I deal with all these things here, and I have anger and all these things going on, I'm certainly not going to be of service to the planet. So we came here to master this, go out of judgment and hate and anger and all these things, and to be a contribution as a whole, because this planet, her life, her future relies on us. Now, you may not believe in reincarnation, and that's okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, your mission is to master the human response to everything that has caused great distress in the past. So, like this child who came back, I believe, came into that family to help them move through the pain that they had, that he had caused them, instead of going to another family. And they knew that this was the reincarnation. They were pretty comfortable with that, even though they questioned it, of course, for a very long time, because he wanted them to know that everything was okay and he had mastered it and he had found joy and he was going to bring joy into their lives now. This is what we're here to do. You came back exactly at this time because you agreed, along with myself, to change the response of the planet, to not have a bunch of drinks and get in the car and go careening off the canyon, edge. And that's to say, I'm going to do it different this time. Are we going to do it different this time? Now, the answer to what we're going through right now is not to counterbalance it with the same behavior. In other words, if I was going to stop from getting in a car and careening off a canyon and drunk, the counterbalance isn't to get another drunk person in the car and ram them. And that's pretty much what we do all the time, all right? We have to come up with new solutions. Now, your contribution, just as a spiritual being that does not see everything as wrong or evil, is you understanding that everyone is the equal power here of light and love. And that responses, people will say, well, why do some people come back to the subscriber who said they see light in everybody and there's this one person that flips over to something else? They're our best teachers. So in my last video, I said, people ask me, why don't ETs come here and stop all of this? Well, they could have been doing that for years. And there is some assistance, but it has to be with our approval. Because if we don't learn, it doesn't change. I promise you this, if they stepped in, then we would have all kinds of other garbage going on, blaming them, they're interfering, oh no, they're controlling us, because our mentality hasn't changed. We're not ready for that. We've had technology given to us before, and what did we do with it? We killed millions of people with it, and we continue to use that technology as threats against each other. We have to learn ourselves. Are you ready to do that? So it starts here, right? So if I don't master this in this lifetime, then I cannot go out into the world and be different. So like this kid, if he continued to be angry and didn't resolve that and, was a menace to everybody every time he got in a car or whatever else he did, then he contributes to the collective in a dense way once again. So what do you need to master in your life personally? Because if it's anger, striking out, judgment, finding, separation, if somebody else is a problem, you don't understand that there's no separation of anything. There's no separation between you and that person who's acting, appearing irresponsible. They're our best teachers, and there are solutions to that. So my question to you is, how are you going to respond? Because I hear constantly on my channel spiritual people calling themselves spiritual people and saying, I'm trying to make other people happy. I'm trying to help my family to become, awakened. I thought, you haven't mastered it yourself, because there's no acceptance there. Somebody said, I don't like the word acceptance. Understand, you'll never understand. You'll never understand. Acceptance is that I don't understand. I don't know why people act a certain way. I don't know if they're doing it for me to test me or if they just haven't pulled out of density. I'll never understand it, but I accept that it is what it is, and my response to that is what is critical. And so instead of judging or trying to change them, or I'm going to make you happy, I'm going to awaken you. No, you're not. No, you're not. You cannot interfere with free will. You can be there as an example more than telling somebody, because when you do that, you're telling them they're wrong. I don't approve of you. You're not okay. You need to be happy. You need to change, right? We're doing that. We think we're doing good things. It's a choice. Acceptance is, I don't know what your journey is. I don't understand why you're doing certain things, but I do know one thing. I accept that you are doing it for a specific reason, for your own mastery, And maybe you're not mastering it. So I have to hands off, allow that, but be there as the positive force to support all the things around it that could change it, that could provide solutions, that could be the compassion, that could be the love when others condemn you for being evil or rotten. Only humans create evil. It's really just something that we devised to explore really the opposite of what we truly are. And through contrast, we know love and light, compassion, because we know what it's like to not have it. And only here on this planet, I'm sure there are other existences too, but here on this planet, you get to know that. When we're on the other side, there's just only light and love, but still learning. You still get to see what you didn't master here. And through the light and the love and total acceptance and not judgment, you make new decisions to go back and relearn, master things. And then you you become, like we are, entrenched in what seems like really horrible stuff. We can change it. I keep saying this. Dorothy, just click your heels and you can go home. Why didn't you tell me? You wouldn't have believed me. You had to learn it for yourself. ETs will not interfere. And I think that there's a chance that some interference will happen just to save the planet. Don't count on that. Don't count on it. You know, part of what they have to do is to let go and allow people to make mistakes. And the thing is, it's the same thing with us. How does a child learn? If you put your hand on the stove and it's hot, you'll never do it again, but you won't know that until you do it the first time and it burns. And you recover from it and you become a new person. This happens constantly with all of us. How do you ever learn? Through mistakes, but there are no mistakes. So go easy on yourself. And if you're in a place of anxiety or fear, first of all, come on over. I have Manifest Anything. It's free. Come take one of my courses. Come create a new business online. These are free videos too. Get creative. Expand. Explore. No more me, what's going on, them, separation. It's like, how can I contribute? How can I be a better person, a better human? Because when I go into that space, I master this beautiful gift that I have of being here at this time, this amazingly difficult, challenging place. And you look outside and you say, oh my gosh, this planet's so beautiful and amazing. It's one of the most beautiful planets in the universe. It's such a gift and perfect. And look at the animals and the plants and everything here. What are we doing to it? Are we loving and respecting it? Are we loving and respecting one another? We can do this. This is your mission. Are you doing it here? It starts here. Master it. Break through fear right now. April 1st, as of this video, it's March 2022. I have a special going on. Go take the course and move past. It's changed lives. I'm here to teach. I'm here to guide. I'm here to provide solutions. But I can't make you do anything. It's up to you. And if you feel anxiety and fear right now about what's going on out there, I'm going to tell you right now, this is our turning point. And the circumstances that are, most people say it's unbelievable that we would be doing this again. But that density still exists on the planet. You know, there are some things going on here that demonstrate to us that this never has to happen again. And so our opposition is not going to fuel solutions and change in peace. I want you to think about, if you can't do anything physically, then I want you to think about what you can do in here to send light and love, not just to those who are on the receiver side of this just horrific behavior, but those who are sending it, because they're the most lost. And that's what Christ did. He forgave those who murdered him. Does that tell you something? This is the example of what we can do. The man walked on water. He showed that we are not these bodies and we are not confined to limitations here. When do we start to get it? I know it's tough. I have a new course called Tap Into Your Power that teaches you this power, what it is, and getting you past the limiting thinking that you don't have access to it. It is not something outside of you. It is you. You can change any situation. What are you doing right now in your personal life? Because if you master this, you do change that out there. You go into glory and you triumph over anything that you took on. You came back here to master it. You came here to assist in raising the frequency of the planet, one light being at a time, one light being. This is your mission. You're so important. Imagine only 7 billion people, little light beings, only 7 billion in unlimited expressions of the one, came here at this time, and you're one of them. That's unbelievable. Not really, everything's believable. That's amazing. Wow. So no matter what you think about yourself, you're not important. I'm not doing anything, Landria, how I do this. I'm going to say you are amazingly perfect and important. You are so important. In fact, you think all these people out there, the speakers and the government, all this there. Now, it's the community here. It's the person who helps the elderly. It's the person who helps the homeless. It's the person who's doing amazing things and stops saying that I have to be broke and poor to help others, but says we can all be abundant, and I'm going to prove that, and I'm going to use that abundance to assist others and show them that they can fish too. Not give them a fish, but show them to fish. This is why I promote the heck out of my internet training. I like teaching people how to take care of themselves, how to create their own abundance, their own freedom, their own lives, make their own decisions. You're capable of all of it. You just have to say yes and stop quitting things. This doesn't work, this doesn't work. That happens on the other side. Here, we have challenges, and every one is a triumph, only if you master it. So, do you want to come back again? I don't. Even if we go into this golden era during my lifetime, and we are stepping into it on some level, I think I will assist on the other side. This is not easy, my friend. It's not. It's disturbing because it's not what we're from. This is not your home. My book's coming out soon. This is not your home. So you're a visitor here. And we want to be good guests, don't we? You're ready. No more blame, no more victim, no more pointing fingers, no more hate, no more separation. You're not looking at a country or a culture or a color. You're looking at a light being that's testing you, that is saying, I'm here, assist me. I want that. Or, I don't want that. Can you accept me for that? You ready? Please subscribe and share this. I want to spread the word that peace is here if we choose it. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. That's from the Master Key System. Somebody said, Landria, have you heard of the Master Key System? That's from the Master Key System. And yes, I actually have a course on the Master Key System. What does it talk about? That power. We all have it. We just don't recognize it. Gotta click your heels. You have it right now. It's who and what you are. Sending you blessings, light, and love, my friend. Namaste.